What's up, tubers? Tio here, Simplistic Fishing, back at you tonight to continue our Cedar Creek Lake Breakdown series. We are on episode 2 tonight, still working our way up the east side of the bank. Found lots of good cover to fish around, a lot of good points, some possible shell beds, some possible brush piles, all kinds of good stuff. Let's go check it out and see what we found. Let's jump back into Cedar Creek and see what we can find today. If you missed the first video, make sure to go out and check it out. It's under our Lake Breakdowns playlist. I'll also put a link up top that'll take you back to that, and you can kind of follow us through this series as we break down these lakes. So I'm going to go over here to the left side. I selected Cedar Creek. We already talked about where it was in the first video, so let's just go ahead and jump in and see what we can find here. Now, on the left-hand side, I just want to point out real quick, we do have this lake broke down by several different things here. The first off would be offshore hotspots. We're going to follow up with several videos here. We've got all of the Google Earth videos that we're going to do. Then we're going to circle back and we're going to talk about the offshore hotspots from the navionics point of view. So looking at it from the contour perspective. So we'll have all of those out there. We'll talk about those. We've also got debris and cover. That's going to be brush piles that we could find from pulling the water down using this Google Earth tool. Debris. We've also got Texas Park and Wildlife fish attractors. If there's any out there, we'll mark those. I don't know if there's any here, but we were able to find brush piles. We also have a little bit of an area up here up north where I just kind of marked, be careful because there's tons of trees up there and a lot of danger up there. So went ahead and marked that. We'll talk about that here in a minute. And then also ramps. If you don't believe in the boat ramp pattern, I mean, this probably isn't going to be helpful to you, but I am a firm believer in the boat ramp pattern. I've ran this pattern several times and had a lot of success on it. And obviously with all of the boat docks that are all over the place, on Cedar Creek, that provides a lot of ramps as well. So you can see there are a ton of ramps on this lake. Also helps you too to get in trouble or something like that. You'll know where the closest ramp is. And then, as you know, if you fished around Texas, if you can find the rock, you can usually find the bass, kind of like the bass in the grass. So I've marked all the different areas of where the rock are on the lake to really help you hone in, get your pattern going and really hone in on what you're looking for. We've also got a few different ponds more on the northern side, these little orange tracks you can see. We've got some road beds that go across as well. And then last but not least, channels and ditches. This is really critical when you want to get up into a channel and you want to make sure that you're fishing the right area of the channel, or that you want to make sure that you position your boat correctly. These channels are put in here as tracks, and they really allow you to position your boat and fish that area correctly. So let's go ahead and go back over here. We stopped last time right on this point right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to start at this point right here in Caney Creek, and we're going to come up here, and we're just going to start working our way all the way down. So I'm going to come in here and zoom in here to where the rock is. Hopefully there's rock there if my points are correct. So you can see right here, I'm going to go up to the top. Actually, first thing I'm going to do is move this over. And then I'm going to go over to the top and I'm going to start to draw the water back until I can get a really good image of what's going on. So you can see I'm back to 2019, 2018, still nothing's going on. I think it's going to be like 2014, 2015, 2017. You can now see where there's some rock up here just behind where that dock is. So it'd be right in this area right in here. So that could really have some good potential. Let's see if we can go any further down. I don't think we can. I think this is going to be the best one. Although this lake does come down a lot, there's a lot of deeper water in this lake as well. So it looks like 2017 is going to be our best image. So let's roll with that. And we're going to go back up here to 2017 and let's keep going. So I'm going to pull this back and we're just going to talk about a couple things. Now, I didn't mark this, but if I was over here fishing, obviously if I was fishing around trying to find this shallow rock and stuff as well, I would definitely come out here and take a look at this because this looks like a massive brush pile or something. But I want to warn you, there's another area here that we're going to go up in this channel where it looks just like this. And I'm thinking, man, there's got to be something there. There's got to be something there. And I marked it and I went out and I fished it and there's nothing there. Absolutely nothing at all there. I don't know if this is a Google Earth thing or what. So I didn't mark this one, but if I was going to go down there, I would scan around here and just see what that is right in there. So you've got some additional stuff right in here. You've got some rock, a little bit of shallow rock. Looks like some kind of rock, like a big slab or something like that, but definitely could be an area where they'd be attracted to. You've also got some rock that comes out here off of this little underwater point. So if we come out here, you can see it. It's way off here, off the edge. Looks like there may even be some birds around there, some stumps. I think those two are birds. I don't know what that other stuff is, but there's something going on right there off the tip of that uh, little point. And if I move that up to 2017, you wouldn't even know that there was a point there. So definitely going to be a good spot to go take a look at. Now let's keep moving up and let's see what else we can find. We've got some ramps that are here, or not ramps, but a ramp that is here. These personal ramps are great because they'll build up all the algae and stuff like that, and the fish like to eat all that stuff, or not really the fish, but the plankton, and then the fish come in. It's just a whole cycle that happens there. And if you look, I mean, that's the only hard structure or hard cover that they have anywhere around here. I mean, and there's really not a lot of different structures, not a lot of breaks or ledges or anything like that. So they're going to relate to things like that for sure. So that's always going to be a really good pattern that you can go check out. This dock as well, I didn't mark it, but if you can find a dock that's isolated, that's off of a point. So if you notice this point right here, which I don't know if I've ever fished this dock, but I'm definitely going to now that I talked to you guys about this. But this dock right here is definitely isolated. There's nothing around it. See, this ramp's going to be good and this dock's going to be good just based on where it's at. And also the fact that it's more of a main lake point, right? So if you can get the wind coming in this way, this is going to be a really good spot to go fish. All right, so let's keep coming this way. Let's go back in here. There is some debris back in here I want you to check out. Probably some brush piles and things like that. It looks like some tires, but it's right off the edge of this dock right here. So you crappie fishermen, that could be a good place to find some crappie as well. But you bass fishermen know that if there's crappie there, there's bass there as well, and you can catch some giants eating those crappie. All right, so let's keep moving on. I'm going to pull back, show you guys where I'm at. I just came across the points, really all I did. Came across the point here, hit that. That's where that dock was that we talked about. Here's the debris down by that dock. And the next thing that's coming up is really just going to be just a little personal boat ramp, or maybe not personal, but a community boat ramp. Again, if you look, it's the only hard cover that we have in this whole entire area. So it's going to be a good spot to look. Obviously, there's tons of docks here to fish, tons and tons and tons of docks. You've also got some rock that's up in here. It's really, really shallow. You can see it comes across this whole entire, kind of breaks off up in here, but it comes across all right in here. So getting up close to that, getting more parallel with it and hitting that with a really shallow diving square bill or something like that, that sometimes can be just a magical, magical pattern. And you're out here doing that, finding these rocky spots while everybody else is pounding every single dock to find that one dock that has, one fish on it, and then go for another 3 or 4 hours before they find another one. So this can be a really good pattern for you. Right here, same type thing. You got that rock, that shallow rock coming right off that point. That could be really good. And then moving back in here, I didn't see too much in the back of these little pockets. Just obviously just a lot of docks. You can definitely fish docks here. You could do it all day long and still have plenty of docks left. But when you get back in this pocket, I did find some brush that was outside of this one right here. So if I move in right here, you'll start to see it. But it looks like there's some kind of a brush pile or something right there that could be pretty good as well. And then moving up here, we got another ramp. Then we get up here to the bridge. This is another really good bridge to fish around. So, make sure you go around. Anytime you get a bridge that's a main lake bridge, or really any bridge, I'm just going to say any bridge. Anytime you get a bridge, you need to make sure that you spend some time fishing around it. I cannot tell you how many times bridges have saved the days for us. Just make sure that you explore the bridge. Don't just go through the middle one and do your scanning and say, oh, there's nothing here. I mean, literally zigzag through your pillars on your lake and figure out which one of those pillars holds fish, what's going on with it. Find out where your creek channels actually dive in through these bridges. Those are really key areas as well. Find out where people have dropped brush piles for their crappie and things like that. Those are key areas for bass. So bridges are huge. Bridges, on Cedar Creek are good as well. So make sure you go check them out. All right, so we've got ramps, more ramps coming here. a few more ramps up here. Didn't really see too much going on. Again, you've got just dock city, so you can definitely pick your dock and find stuff. Hopefully you could go up there and side scan and, find some brush piles and stuff that I can't find here. But for the most part, I'm not finding too much brush. There is a little bit right back in here, back behind this dock. And then as we get up in here, it gets really, really shallow, obviously. But you do have a couple decent little creek channels that are up here. You've got one that's right here that comes right along these docks. So that means that these docks could probably be pretty good depending on what time of year it is. And if you look, this is kind of a protected bay. So you might have some spawners coming up in here and things like that as well. You've got another creek channel that comes down through here that swings right up against that little dock right there. That could be a good dock. This could be a good dock as well. Now let's pull this up because you're seeing this when the lake is really, really down. Let's go back to 2022. Of course, right now the lake's down as well. But even with the lake down right now, those creek channels are still kind of covered up, so you can't really tell that they're there. And when the lake gets back to more of a full pool status, if I could ever get it back there, it's been low for so long. Here we go. This is 2019. You can see that that looks really healthy. Now, right in here, I'd spend some time up in here. Some real good cover. Creek channel bin right in here. It's got some promise. I don't think I've ever fished back up in there, but now that I'm doing this one, I'm definitely going to go back up there and check that one out as well. So let's go back to wherever we were. I think we're in 2017, but now it's going to show 2016. And let's just move up and let's just talk about some things here. Now, there is a little pinch point right here. There's no cover around it, no rock or anything like that. So I don't know if that would be any good, but definitely something to look at. And then as we move down, just not seeing too much out here, some pretty good points and things like that, some shallow humps, but doesn't look like there's any cover on them because you can almost see it to the bottom. But there is some rock that's right outside of this main lake point right here, or not main lake, kind of, I guess you could say main cove point. I don't know what you want to call it, but let's pull back here. I'll show you. There's that creek channel, and that rock is right off of this main point that's right here. And you can see it's right there off the edge. So definitely go check that out. Moving up here, we've got more ramps. We're going to see a lot of ramps as we go down through here. Got more ramps. Again, some more ramps in that area. Then as we move up here, we've got 4 more ramps in here. Now we do have a pretty nice little creek channel that's up here, and you can see it right here in this image. I don't see a ton of cover around it, but it definitely looks like it could have some potential. So you can see it right here. I don't know really where it comes in at back here. You kind of lose it, but you can definitely see it developing like right in here, and it comes this way and comes through here. Let me put a track there and I'll kind of follow you. And if I can fit this track, it depends on how many tracks we have on Cedar Creek. If I can fit this track, I will include it in the waypoints. But if not, just remember this video and remember us going through here and seeing this creek channel, because this could be maybe one of those little secret creek channels that you don't really realize that's there, that could be really good. So I'm just going to label this as the channel, and I'm going to move this over to the color. Go up to 3 and we'll be done with that. All right, so let's keep moving them on back, and we're going to go down here. We've got some more ramps. As we move down here, we get down here by what appears to be Highway 198. There's some really good riprap all around this point. And again, I talked to you about it earlier. If you're around the bridges, those are going to be good spots. So that's obviously going to be a good area to go fish around. As you move down here, there's some interesting stuff going on down here. There could be some offshore hotspots possibly that we've marked in there. I'm not sure, but maybe just some interesting stuff going here, but just really muddy, kind of flat. Not a lot going on. As we move back in here, not a lot going on in the backs of these coves. We've got a couple more ramps back in there, but I do like this spot right here. And I know I'm going fast here, so let me pull back. So here's Highway 198. You're going to come straight down this way. And then this is where this hump is. This hump looks really good. So I'd definitely go out here and check out this hump. The birds are there. So if the birds are there, it probably means there's probably some shell there maybe, or something like that. Hopefully something that's attractive. It looks like it may have some pretty decent like little ledges off the side of it, or at least somewhat of a ledge, a Texas ledge. So definitely go and check out that hump and see if you can find anything there. As you come down a little bit further, so from 198, you're going to come down past that hump, come around that point. You've got an underwater point that comes out here, and it appears that we've got some shell again that's right here off the tips of them. So maybe some right here, and maybe possibly some right in there as well. Another good place to definitely go check out would be right in here. That looks like a really good feeding area for the fish. You've got a ramp right in here. As we move it down a little bit further, we've also got some really shallow rock. So again, if you're doing that shallow cranking thing and you're really, really up shallow, I'm talking like they're in inches of water. This is going to be some pretty good rock to explore. These docks are super shallow, and then as we move down through here, not seeing too much through here, but maybe come out here. I didn't mark them, but see these little points that come out, these little fingers. It's possible that you could get some shell or something collecting, some debris or anything off these little points that come out here. So if you're out here and you're just exploring, maybe you're setting up for a tournament or something like that, I would say it would definitely be worthy to come out here and get outside, get away from those docks and get out here and do some scanning and hit the tips of these little fingers that come out and see if you can find anything. It appears that there may even be something right in here, but I can't really verify it, so I can't mark it for you, but definitely looks like there could be some potential of something being off the top of that little point. All right, so let's keep moving up. We got some ramps in here, some more ramps back in there. Not a lot going on back in that cove. Not saying there's not fish back there, just nothing for me to mark for you guys. We've also got this little area in here, and I like this spot for some reason. I don't know why, but I just like how it sets up. But if you come in here, and let's say that, to me, this would be a good area for them to go up and spawn. It's kind of facing the north. It's protected by the wind on most sides. It's going to be pretty calm back in there for the most part. So they're going to definitely go back in there. The only problem is it doesn't really have a creek I see, necessarily, at least that I can tell that there's any type of a creek back in there. That'd be the only thing that would keep them from going back there. But if I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, yeah, that's probably going to be good. But right here, I see this and I see, okay, this is a great stopping spot. So if they're going to come in here and get ready for the spawn, they're going to hang out in here for a while, feed up and all that good stuff before they make that trip back there. So this area right in here, and I've caught some fish in here as well, really, really just looks good to me from if I'm just looking at it from a Google Earth standpoint. I like all the stumps that are right in here. I like how this point comes out. I like how it's a real nice staging spot before they go in the back. So definitely go check that out. All right. So we've also got some ramps that are in there, more ramps that are back in through here. And if you look right here, again, when I was talking about scanning out in here, look right in here, you notice this point comes out pretty far. So although I've marked out here where it appears to be some brush or something like that, I'm telling you, this is the strangest thing. So I've got this marked right here, and I've gone out here, and you guys can try to verify this for me, especially you guys that are local. I'll leave that point on there, but I'm telling you, I've gone out here and I've scanned around this, and I've scanned around it, and I've scanned around it, and I cannot find anything right in this area. And it's the strangest thing because, right now, the way we're looking at it, that looks like a brush pile. You can see all the different laydowns that are there and how they're crisscrossed and all of that. But I'm telling you, if you go out there and you scan this spot right here, that brush pile is not there. And I don't know why. I cannot figure it out. So if you can go out and verify that and tell me that brush pile is there, that would be awesome. Maybe I'm just missing something. I don't know what's going on, but there's got to be something right there. All right, so moving on down, we've got some shallow rock that's just right in there. Another spot that maybe could have some potential would be right off the edge of this point. So as we move down here from where that brush pile was, and again, there's 198, there's that brush pile. As we move down here, we look at the edge of these points. These could have some potentials definitely off the edge of these points, but right in here, off of this point right here, see how this comes out, and this is all dug in right here. And it appears maybe you might even have a little ledge like on this side. Maybe check that out. Just see. Doesn't look like there's any rock or anything like that, but something strange going on right in there. Sometimes those can be really cool areas, and most of the time they're absolutely nothing. So that's why I didn't mark it. But you never know. So moving on down here, obviously this main lake point coming out, stretches out pretty far. It typically is going to have shell on it somewhere, and my guess is it's probably going to be right out in this area right in here. So definitely go check that out. Those are really good areas to find fish. So let's keep going, and let's see what else we can find outside of here. So we went up the Clear Creek. I think that's Clear Creek. We went up the Clear Creek area. We went all the way up there. We broke that down, went up to 198, came down. Now we came around this point right here. Let's keep moving up and see what else we can find. We've got another personal ramp that's right in here. And I like these points that are over here. These are going to be really good points to fish, main lake points. Obviously, they're facing directly north. So these are going to be hard points to fish, but probably really good points to fish if you get that northerly wind. So it's going to be rocking. It's going to be tough to fish them, but I'm sure the bait is just going to load up on these things, and that's going to be these 2 points right in here. So this point right in here, it's got some really good laydowns and stuff like that for them to attract to. And this point over here looks pretty good as well. Again, probably some difficult points to fish, though, if you got that northerly wind, or if you got a northwest wind, you're getting hammered, but that's probably going to be the best place to fish when that wind is rocking like that. You've also got some brush that's over in here, appears to be right outside these docks. So go check that out. That's just right over where that debris was. And then this long point that comes out, definitely going to go check this out next time we go out there. I think I fished around here last time, and I just didn't have any luck in this area. But it looks awesome on Google Earth. It looks like somewhere where you could take some time and really dissect it. So you can tell here you've got some rock or something going on in here. You've got some potential shell that's over there. You got potential shell that could be right in here as well. A nice little point, just some really good stuff. And then up here closer towards the point, you've got some rock too. So that whole spot right there just looks really, really good. Okay, so let's keep moving up, see what else we can find. We've also got some debris that's out here. So again, these points, these look really good. This one looks even better. You can see all the laydowns and stuff like that that's in here. You can see the debris that's over here. We've got a big debris field here and a really big debris field going on right in there. And so if I move that up to 2017, if you're just zooming along, you have no idea that all this stuff is right below you. So all that stuff that we've been talking about, the brush piles and things like that, this is what it actually looks like if you go out there when the lake is at normal pool. So something to consider. Don't get confused when we're going through this Google Earth stuff and say, well, that doesn't look anything like it. Well, yeah, it won't, because we're actually moving the water down pretty far to be able to see this. So then moving up here, we've got another good brush pile that's outside this dock. Moving back here, we've got another brush pile. And then this looks really interesting right here. If we go back here to this boat ramp, all right in here, look at all that shade. They could hang out in there and hang out on the poles and stuff like that. That looks like a good little honey hole to fish. And you've got a little creek that comes through here, so you're getting some fresh water and stuff like that. These could be good docks to go fish around. So go back in there and check those out. I'm sure those people love me. Then moving up here, we've got more rock that's around the shallow side, right? So you can get up there with that shallow crankbait. But if you pull off just a little bit, there appears to be some debris and stuff in the water. It appears to be some rock that's further out here. And then moving up here, I've fished around this area. In fact, I think I caught some fish. Sorry, I got distracted by the sand trap. I caught some fish right around this area as well. So I'm pretty sure this is a good one. But again, look at all the rock that's around this home. Some really good pillars and things to fish around. Check out their putting green. That is unbelievable sweetness. And you live on the lake, and you got a putting green, and you got your own private beach. This guy's pimping. Then you got some rock that's over in here as well. And then moving on up, and then we're probably going to wrap this thing up once we get to a good little stopping spot. We've got some more rock that's right in here. So if you get further off the bank line, right, you got to get a little bit further out here, you're going to find some jewels. And that's 2 big old boulders right here. There's another big boulder right there. Again, you've got these little rock jetties that come out. These are always great places to find fish when you can find these little pinch points like that. And then moving up here, we're getting right off the edge of this point. That's where we'll stop. But we got some bigger rocks that are in here. Again, they're going to be pretty shallow. And then you've got these giant rocks, 3 of them. I don't even know if they're 3 rocks. It might just be 3 rock piles, but right out here. These look interesting because even when you pull the water up, they look like they basically could just knock the heck out of your lower unit because you can't see them right here. But this is 2017. I don't know if the water was up here, but it looks like it's pretty much at normal pool. And if you were flying along close to that edge, you would smack right into these rocks. So these could be some really good ones to go check out. And then moving over here, again, just shallow rock coming off the edge of that point. So let's go ahead and finish right there. When I come back on the next video, we're going to start at that point and we'll keep moving up the lake, go all the way up the lake, and then come all the way back down. It'll take us a few videos to get through it, but hopefully this is helping you guys out, helping you guys find some good fishing spots. Hey, make sure to go out and check out our sponsor, OmniaFishing.com. The link is in the description. It helps us out when you go out and check them out and buy some tackle from them. And please make sure to go out to simplisticfishing.com. We've got all these waypoints set up for you, already ready. You can put them on a card, or we have them put on a card for you. So you have the digital version, which I can email to you, or I can mail you the card, the SD card. You just take that SD card, you plug it into your graph, and you get all of these fishing points on your fish finders, which is huge when you're out there fishing, especially when you're running tournaments and things like that, being able to pattern the fish really quickly. This is a key way to do it and a quick way to break down the lake, kind of save you a bunch of time. So anyways, guys, hit that subscribe button. And until next time, I hope you catch your PB. Take it easy.